Except for one thing. On the way to the rehearsal, my shoe came loose. I received an email that said, "Congrats, you got selected."
Happy birthday, Naruto.
You know, my sister said I need to stop spending so much money on my setup. Like, yeah, okay. You know what? Yeah. I don't need no ring light. What's going on, guys? I'm back with another video. Good evening, everyone. I'm Hypnotic Wish, and no, your eyes do not deceive you. Yes, this is Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. It's been a while since I uploaded this game. I think it's been a while since anybody played this game. You know why I decided to play this game? I decided to play this because I have a story to tell. Not a really long story, but, you know, I just thought that while I tell this story, I may as well be playing one of my favorite video games while I do it. And that video game of choice is going to be Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. I made a whole masterpiece on why this is the greatest Dragon Ball game in history, but the way it was handled after it was released was quite unfortunate. But the honeymoon phase of this game is a goated period. But anyways, I want to get all trophies for this game like I did Spider-Man 2, and I think I'm almost there, over halfway, 28 out of 50. So what we're gonna do now today is we're going to play, I guess we're doing the Otherworld tournament. Now, originally I recorded this video.
Wait a second. What was the occasion this time?
Please, King Kai.
Let's do this.
That's right, let's do this. Now, I originally recorded this video back in July. It's part of, you know, my whole why I need to be strong video, all that. But I felt like it was too somber, so you say, you know what? Why don't I talk about this time period while I'm playing one of my favorite video games, Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. Are we fighting that Namek? I guess so. For this tournament, who can I be? I forgot who I used last time. I don't want to be repetitive. We're gonna do Fuse Zamasu, I guess. All right. Now, I think that's it. All right, let's go. Zamasu, you know what to do. All right, y'all. Now, if I can just focus. Yeah, you already said that, King Kai. But, anyways, y'all, ladies and gentlemen. All right, this event takes place back in September 2021. Yes. I tried to actually record and upload this video days ago, but I failed. Alright, I failed. I took too long. And now we're in October already. But that's okay, because still, the vibes are still the same. Now, let me just get Gohan out the way. Now, so September, put up my cats. No, not tonight. Y'all not about to fight tonight. They always start fighting when I record, like they were fast asleep. Probably because my voice. Sorry, Gohan. But let me just go ahead with the story. September 2021, I'm still in the army. And as many people know, the army is, it's not one of my happy periods, okay? It's not. When I'm in the army, because my rank was so low, I got assigned to so many things. So many. Now, as I said, because King Kai, you gotta stop repeating that, dog. You gotta stop. Now, because my rank was so low, they put me on a lot of details and assignments and all that. And eventually, after a while, I got used to it. I got used to it. No matter what it was, from the simplest, y'all, I had to go pick up trash from around the base all the way to, would y'all believe that I had a funeral detail? They sent me to go to somebody's funeral, and that was a disaster. Not the funeral itself, like I had to learn how to fold a flag in like 45 minutes. 45 minutes. I had to learn how to fold the United States flag. And if I didn't do it right, they got these things in the army called like counselings or whatever. Dang. Every time the story get good, like somebody get knocked out.
The gods, but quantity falls to quality every time.
He said it. Stop playing with Zamasu. Just stop. So I did the funeral detail and all. Like, yeah. When I was in the army, I had a villainous sergeant. Would you believe they were even more villainous than me? He was a villain. He's easy to take down. Me, I'm a super villain. I'm like, this me. I'm Fuse Zamasu. You gonna need the main character to come after me. If you, in Dragon Ball terms, he was probably Android 17 and 18, and I'm Cell. Like, yeah, they're the villains, but not for long. Anyways, like, literally, while I was at that funeral detail, this man was talking about getting, you know, like I said, the write-ups, the counseling. Like, why are you telling me that at a funeral? And you know what's crazy? It was because my pants leg, it wasn't ironed correctly. What? What? But all because my pants in the army. Like in the army, you got to be spick and span. Everything you got to be spick and span. The professional. Trophy, nice. I guess we're moving on to the next tournament. But you know what? Because I was in the army, I could not complain about nothing. You were under a contract, alright? You signed it. You signed it. You gotta do what they say until your contract expires. You can't be like, no, I'm not clocking in for work tomorrow. That's how you know, cook your life. You get cooked. If you get kicked out from the army, it doesn't look good anywhere. So you just gotta literally just deal with it. Suck it up. And I did that for a while since, yeah, I basically did it for a while. But after a while, all that stuff, when it builds up, you know, it builds up and then you just have a boiling point. But the boiling point, you can't like let out your anger on your superiors, your higher ups, because like I said, it's how you get in trouble. So basically in the army, you just hold it in for as long as you can, which is extremely unhealthy. That's unhealthy. Like, it was a disaster every single day, getting up day and night, because these people, they literally control your life. They did. You sign a contract away, and your superiors, well, they're in charge of you, whatever. The army, it's a decent job, I can't lie, but it just was not for me. Now, somewhere along the lines, that sergeant or whatever, they finally relieved me from his care, thankfully. And what are the odds? My army life, it somehow got better. I wasn't under that leadership anymore. They put me under the leadership of Sergeant Pender. I miss Sergeant Pender. Everything that I complained about that one sergeant doing, that man, he was basically let go. That's how the army worked. I don't think there was no punishment. I just got relieved from his leadership, and that was fine for me. That was fine. No, life was, it was, you know what? It was just rolling with the flow. Now, as I said, in the army, they put me under so many a lot of stupid details, all because I was a low rank. They said, yeah, send him. Like, that was what the other sergeant did. He always recommended my name to go send me to go fight, and no, I'm tired. And that's the crazy part about the army. You can't say no. You can't say no. So, this one detail, something to celebrate Fort Hood or our company's anniversary or whatever, and they needed soldiers. Of course, they always need soldiers. You disappoint me. Yeah, that's a decent team. So, tell me this. Something about this event or whatever, this anniversary, I already knew I was going. I already knew it. But, however, I didn't get notified by anybody. I was just like, hell, maybe I will get let off the hook of this. Because there was always a billion soldiers in our company, but it was always me. Then I remember this one other sergeant. Remember, we were exercising or whatever, PT. That's like early in the morning, like 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the morning exercise in the army. You gotta do it every single day. And I remember we were just talking or whatever. Then he said, oh yeah, by the way, congrats. You got selected for the thing. And I was like, dog, there's no way. There's no way. Like, nobody told me, but like, I felt it in my heart that I was gonna be there. And lo and behold, my name was there. All right, who's next? Goku Black? Let me swap out of here. How do I do that? I forgot how to play this game, y'all. I ain't even gonna lie. Get out of here. Come on. You can't? You just play until you knocked out? I don't think you can swap characters in here. Now, of course, this event. Remember how I said the funeral service about how my clothes they were mad at me because my pant leg wasn't ironed correctly? I had all my stuff ready, y'all. I did. I know I did. I made sure everything was spick and span, because I didn't want another take 2 of the funeral detail to happen. I didn't want it. And she moved out the way. Oh my gosh. Now, I was making sure all my stuff was ready. Alright? How you thought? I'm making my way down to the rehearsal from my barracks. I get outside, make sure I'm spick and span. I'm all good to go. Then I get there. There's a lot of people there. And by the way, like I said, the army, it has ranks, superiors. So it's me there with a lot of other privates and specialists and all that. Sorry, Majibu, I'm just trying to, I know, I'm trying to tell the story at the same time I'm cooking you, dog. It's a lot going on. Now, I finally get there, and so there's these ranks in the army. It's called sergeant majors. You got sergeant, staff sergeant, sergeant first class, and then Master Sergeant, then Sergeant Majors. Actually, they were master. Yeah, they were Master Sergeant, and they just patrolling. They giving out instructions and all that. And I made sure I was spick and span. There shouldn't be any commotion. Dog. When I get there, tell me why. Already, they were like, look at this soldier right here. They were pointing at me. This soldier. They're like, I got some soldiers right here. Then the first Master Sergeant, what's his name? Master Sergeant Cox, all that. Ooh, Master Sergeants, they can do stuff like that because they're Master Sergeant. They can get away with that because who gonna correct them? Who gonna correct their power? So a Master Sergeant, he saw my outfit or whatever, and I had everything spick and span. I did, except for one thing. On the way to the rehearsal, my shoe came unloose. I walked all the way from my barracks, and my shoelace, it became unloose. And then he's like, I don't want this soldier. This soldier can't even tie his shoes, bro. He said that in front of everybody. So like, I'm already annoyed, dog. Like, he could have easily just set me aside and say, hey, your shoe is untied. Prepare yourself better and all that. Like, I would have understood, like, oh yeah, I didn't mean for that to happen. But no, it's a Master Sergeant. They gotta set an example. That's what they always do. They always set an example, dog. Like, all my characters leaving. If I lose with Goku, this I better get serious. How do they keep dodging all this stuff? You can tell these are freaking computers. So yeah, he's talking about my shoelace being unbroken. He said, I need soldiers that know how to tie their shoes or whatever. And he said that in front of everybody, dog. He didn't have to do that. I guess that was they didn't even know what they were doing. They were just talking. Because by the time we got to the real part or whatever, the real ceremony, everything that we learned on the rehearsal day changed. And of course, all the soldiers who saw me or whatever, most of them, they went, why is this man so giant, dog? Why is he so giant? They all went back to their companies and barracks or whatever. I went back to my barracks, all like, I was already just basically humiliated. Like, I was done for. Like, remember how I said that I was just used to that stuff? And you kept it all boiled up inside of you. Because that's all you could do. Like, who you gonna complain to? But you see me, since I was a content creator, well, I am a content creator, I always, like, this is like the worst, like, this is like the lowest of the lows of me inside the army. Like, just the month before, one of my cousins had died. Remember the sergeant I was talking to you all about? The first one? Like, I remember when I received the news that my cousin died. This man is sitting there, like, telling me, like, oh, we need to get you out the army, whatever. Like, because you gonna have to do more as a soldier. Like, he telling me all this stuff, like, while I'm receiving the news or processing the news that my cousin died. I was just used to so much stuff, dog. I can tell this is gonna be, oh my gosh. So I walked back to my barracks, dog. Like, around this time, it's 2021, and PlayStation 5s and Xbox Series X, they're still in a drought. Like, they're really scarce. Like, if you have one, you are lucky. And that's where we're at. I was still using my Xbox One. Like, my enthusiasm was low and all that. And I remember a couple days ago, there was somebody telling me, like, hey, sign up to get a PlayStation 5 or whatever. I'm like, sign up for what, dog? Like, they're not gonna select me. Like, who cares? But I did it anyway. This is like, I think I did that like a week prior, I think. And I had forgotten all about it. I forgot all about it. So I'm making it back to my barracks and all that. And I was so frustrated to the point, like I said, I'm a content creator. I just like to write out my thoughts and all that. And me, I was about to cook up one of the world's, like, I was about to cook up one of the craziest essays, documentaries ever on my laptop. I was about to type about everything I've been through in the army and just write all my thoughts down. Before I could sit on my bed, like, I took off my army uniform or whatever. And before I could sit on my bed, I received an email. An email that said, congrats, you got selected. And I was like, is this real? Is this real? There's no way they'd select me. Like, why me? Of all people. And I opened the email and it said, you've been selected to purchase a PlayStation 5. Like, I would have been the first person inside my family to have a PlayStation 5. This is still 2021, yeah. Like, it hasn't even been out for a whole year yet. And when I tell y'all that I completely forgot about anything that happened that day. Matter of fact, nothing mattered anymore. I felt like I was on top of the world. Because I was. It was a dream come true. Like, I had so many people, like, I remember one of my friends, he tried to sell me his own PlayStation 5, but he was trying to sell it for like $700. And I was tempted. I was like, man, I should get it. I already don't have it. But I'm glad I held off. I'm glad I held off. What they say about delayed gratification, that's what I did. I held off, and in the end, I got rewarded. Like, I don't even think any of my friends got chosen. It was only me out of all of them. So I was already like, this is a miracle. Like, I think probably millions of people applied to like get a PlayStation 5. They had to have had. And the fact that they chose me, that was definitely a sign. Cause dog, I was over it, dog. Like, I was just tired. I was just so tired of life at that point. 5,000 miles away from my family, all the way in Texas, and dealing with that stuff for what, months alone. So like, it was tough. Achievement. That was kind of boring. At least I could swap character this time. But yeah, dog, I really needed that. That gave me a boost of life. Like, the fact that
The first match is about to begin.
that was definitely, I feel like it was definitely by fate, because I was already at the lowest point of, like, basically my life. It was just disaster. And then, dog, I can't believe it took me almost an hour to record all of this for a simple story. But basically, the whole time in preparation for my PlayStation 5 to come, like, I was just happy. Like, nothing could get me down. Like, the fact that whatever happened that day happened, dog, it's in the past. I mean, I still remember Master Sergeant Cox, of course. Batman, he did some villainous. Sorry, Goku. Come on, dog. You gotta stay in bounds. Wow. In out of bounds? I don't know what it was, but I was happy. I've been trying to get a PlayStation for so long, y'all. Not just PlayStation 5, but a PlayStation in general. And the only one I had was my brother's. And his PlayStation 4, that thing that was basically a heater, dog. A heater, especially in the summertime. Like, just pumping out straight heat. It sounded like a jet engine. Just like my laptop right now. It sounded like a jet engine. He only has 2 people on his team. Oh my god. I know they about to do some freaky games when they only got 3 people on a team. Vegeta, his health is gone. What? No. Just, I did not know they were going to do health like that. Vegeta, yo. No freaking way. Please tell me he is just out of bounds. Please just tell me his health is... I can't do this, y'all. Need to change the rules, dog. You out, dog. Go. Get out of here. Gotta use it to your advantage. What'd you get in that spot for? You out. How did his health... Please, game, explain to me how his health got back up. That's all I want to know. I think at that point when I got my PlayStation, life was starting to pick back up. At least in the army. It wasn't super up, but it gave me hope, dog. Because I don't know. It was just tiring. Felt like a chore. Now, let me just skip this, dog. I ain't even gonna lie. I like how their transformations are gone. That's pretty cool. Nice detail. I remember the day that I got my PlayStation was coincidentally, well, the day my PlayStation was arriving, was coincidentally the day for the rehearsal. I was so excited that day. I remember that I was gonna be like, man, I don't want to do this. It's annoying. It was a Friday. Gotta do a rehearsal. But my PlayStation was arrived. That's the only thing I was looking forward to, y'all. Finally being able to play all the games I couldn't because I never had a PlayStation. One of them being, well, Spider-Man. And ever since then, that began my actual journey with PlayStation. I mean, like I said, I had one. It wasn't mine, but it was like a family PlayStation. I feel like I'm repeating myself, but somebody was definitely watching. That's what it felt like. But yeah, I got that email and my PlayStation finally arrived. I unboxed it. I think I took a photo, whatever. It was just, that's one of my happiest memories of not only the army, but life in general, dog. Like, I really needed that pick me up. Yeah, we did the rehearsal, and tell me why after rehearsal, we did everything. Like, I forgot what they had me do. I think I was holding a freaking flagpole, looking like I don't even know, dog. But that's what they had me doing. That's what I heard. We didn't rehearse that. It just kept changing on the spot. But I made sure my shoes was tied this time. Like, that wasn't even my fault. Master Sergeant Cox, like, oh, I don't know, dog. Master Sergeant Cox, that man, he always been on my tail somewhat, but He knows who I am. He remember me. Because I remember for a Halloween event, it was like a Halloween playlist. Katy Perry's E.T. came on with Kanye West and all that. And then, but was it the Houdini, the Freaks Come Out at Night? But I remember he was running past because we were like exercising. He said, hey, y'all need to change that song. That is not, suitable. I'm like, dog, it's a Halloween playlist. That's what Master Sergeants do. Master Sergeant, who's gonna check a Master Sergeant? And I think when I finally got my PlayStation, like a new era began for me. I was finally able to record more things. Back then I couldn't really record much because like I was just so bound in the army, constrained. I just didn't have the equipment. Definitely didn't have the proper equipment. I mean, my laptop could do some things, but it just was not powerful enough. And no matter what I tried to do, I know I'm sounding like my other video, but the way life's changed over the past couple years, it still seems unreal.
Congratulations! You're the champion!
Thank you, Zeno. I am the champion. I am. Honestly, y'all,
The fiercest fighters have gathered here today!
the whole point of this story, let me go to the main menu. They don't ever stop talking. They actually added another map almost into a year after release. But yeah, basically, for this story, well, y'all cannot give up, dog. Y'all gotta keep going. You got to keep going. That's what that lesson taught me, or that experience. You got to keep going no matter what, because life does get better. When I first made this video originally a couple months ago, it was somber and all that, but I'm much rather talk about this experience while I'm happier playing my favorite video game and all that. To look back on. But yeah, I did a detail complete. My PlayStation was there, and I just had the whole weekend to myself to play video games. That was a surreal experience, and yeah, just hang in there, y'all. But yeah, that's basically my story of, well, maybe can I? No, it's dusty right now, y'all. I can't lie, it is. Yeah, of me getting, well, the PlayStation. That right there, that's just Ariana Grande. I think I already showed y'all that. Yeah. Before I end this video, let me tell y'all one of my favorite quotes. One of my favorite quotes by Razor Ramon Scott Hall. Hard work pays off. Dreams do come true. Bad times don't last, but bad guys do. Razor Ramon. Dog, bad times do not last. You will get through it. You will. But yeah. And that's the story about how I got how a PlayStation notification, how it saved me. But yeah. Anyways, thank you all for watching. Finally got my achievements on Sparking Zero. That's good. We're up to 31 out of 50 now. Nice. Yeah. Thank you all for watching. Please take care. Till we meet again. Oh yeah. Happy birthday, Naruto.